Alrighty, hey, and welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the TNC podcast. I want to welcome you all to the broadcast today. Today, guys, guess what? It is the election autopsy today, folks. This is going to be something more than I think most folks are reckoning for. I really do. I don't think most people would. Some of the stuff we're going to bring out today is going to be just incredible. So, when we get back, folks, stick around. This is going to be great. It's the election autopsy on the TNC podcast. We'll be right back. Stick around. Road, you guys. Hey, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. And it's election time, guys. This is when things start going. This is when we start getting stuff going, guys. And this is really one of my favorite portions of the year. And I just wanted to let you guys know that if before we get going too much further, that if you are this might be your first time checking out the broadcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's over here someplace. Hit the subscribe button and let us know that you love us, and that you will also get to be updated every time we have a broadcast. Okay, so don't forget that you want to be updated every time we get a broadcast, because if you don't, you can miss us. And some of this stuff is just crazy good. So be sure. And some people are saying, hey, Sherman, I can barely hear you, so I'm going to turn up the sound just a little bit more so that some more people can hear me. And we won't turn up too much further. But, but we want to make sure that everybody hears us. So we have the show up on a podcast, so you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can get podcasts, you can actually get this broadcast also. Some of you were watching the broadcast yesterday, and when you did, you said to yourself, boy, you know what? You weren't ready for the election. Yeah. And when the election did happen, it was like, oh my gosh, what just happened here? That's what we're going to talk about today, guys. We're going to talk about the autopsy of really what happened during the election. And this is stuff you're probably never going to hear. You probably won't. You'll never hear it on some of these other broadcasts, but you guys are going to hear it today. And also, this is a call out to the county party and for the state party that maybe you should be listening to this show today. Okay, this is really important. Not only the county party here and the state party here in Nevada, but also in California. Okay, in our neighbor to the left. Okay, we actually did have a horse or dog in the broadcast or in the election yesterday. Because we are right next to California. I mean, we're right next to them, and whatever happens to California generally affects Las Vegas. Our gas prices, our traffic in the city on a weekend, it all affects us. Excuse me. And so we want to be sure that whatever happens in California, we want to know about it. So yesterday was the election. Several states, but all eyes were on California and that beautiful but badly managed state where Democrats have reigned supreme for far too long. In the governor's race, Republican Steve Hilton, the former Fox News commentator, faced off with former Biden cabinet official Javier Becerra. and deep-pocketed Tom Steyer. Remember old Tom Steyer, who poured, get this, $200 million of his own campaign money. And I thought, and I did a calculation on this yesterday. It's about $246 a head. This was from last night. The numbers he had last night. It's about because he only had like 800,000 people or something like that. It was about $246 a head. Steve Hilton, on the other hand, I think spent about $2 a head. So which tells you this guy Steyer just doesn't got it together. Okay. And also in the Los Angeles mayor's race, political newcomer and Republican Spencer Pratt, whose home was tragically lost in the Palisades fire, he challenged incumbent Karen Bass and longtime Democrat Nithya Raman. And what happened next should give every conservative, every faith-filled American, and every lover of liberty real hope for our nation, because this is what happened. Something big happened over the weekend. Let's talk about first what happened in the governor's race, folks. Because once again, we had all of our eyes were on this guy, Steve Hilton. And at the end of the day, Steve Hilton in the governor's race, excuse me, right now is ahead of Javier Becerra, and I think he's up by 2 percentage points. And so under California's so-called jungle primary, the scheme many believe is designed to lock Republicans out of the general election. The 2 top vote getters advance. Conventional wisdom said this race would be a Democrat-only coronation. That's really what we believed it would be. And after all, Democrats outnumber Republicans 4-1 in the state. But here's the shocker. Not only did Steve Hilton secure the top spot, he is now leading Becerra, as I said, by a couple of points. And let that sink in for just a second, folks. Because California, the number of Democrats registered to vote in California compared to the number of Republicans, 4-1, guys. It's 4-1. So this isn't even close. Conservative voice, a man who understands the power of clear communication and traditional values, is outperforming the Democrat machine in one of the bluest states in the union. And it's not just a fluke. This is the people of California speaking loudly and clearly. They're saying enough is enough. And that's the crazy thing about what we're seeing right now, is that right now you've got Steve Hilton, who right now in the primary, where you probably should have seen Becerra just blow anybody out of the way. I mean, Becerra was a Biden official, and all of a sudden it was done. But before the day was even over, they had Steve Hilton was already speaking British, and he was saying, "Hey, guess what? We're gonna things are going good." But that wasn't the end of the night, you guys, because we were watching two races. The other race was actually in the mayoral race and it's not even an open seat. Karen Bass is actually the mayor of Los Angeles right now. But this guy right here, this guy Spencer Pratt shocked the world. He's a reality star. He turned grassroots warrior. He stunned the political establishment. Pratt, with zero prior political experience, ran a campaign centered on the real pain Californians are feeling, especially those families who lost everything in the Palisades fire. Over 10,000 homes were destroyed, folks. Yet under Karen Bass, only about 1,000, it's probably about 1,500, families have been granted permits to even rebuild over the 10,000 plus homes that were burned out in the fire. And one of those was Pratt's. As a matter of fact, that's how he launched his campaign, is he was saying, "Hey guys, guess what? I'm living in the Streamliner," and it was out in front of the house that he had. And despite Bass's long resume as a former congresswoman and current mayor, and despite Raman's Noodle, some people call her Noodle, her 12 years as a city council person, Spencer Pratt has surged into second place in one of America's most solidly blue cities. And this is remarkable. a political outsider focused on practical solutions and failures of big government, incompetence, is giving career politicians a run for their money. And that is the amazing thing about this whole story right now, folks, is that right now Spencer Pratt, who's a brand new guy, I mean, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just basically saying, hey guys, guess what? I'm not going to worry about, he was on Bill Maher's show. He said, I'm not going to worry about solar or anything. I'm worried about potholes. I'm not worried about, I'm worried about having these moms be able to walk their kids down the street so that they don't have to worry about having to have some kind of naked junkie, shoot them up or and pee in front of them. He says, look, I got a lot of stuff to do here, and least of my worries is solar power. I'll have somebody else do that. And that is one. And people said, you're right, Spencer. All these guys are worried about all this other stuff, and they're pushing their agenda. You want to make LA better, and people are voting for him. Matter of fact, Raman, she should just drop out. There's just no reason why. Here's the thing about it. Okay, and we'll take a break here. The people who are voting for Karen Bass, I think Karen Bass is 34%. Last time I checked, she had about 34% of the votes that have been counted so far. 34% have voted for Karen Bass. What does that mean? That means about 66%? 66% of the people said, we don't like you, Karen. 66. That's a huge number. But that's not the whole story, guys. That is not the whole story, guys. We've got so much more that I don't think anybody's really realizing what's going on here, okay? So when we come back, folks, we're going to talk a little bit more about what I think the GOP really needs to start considering here, folks, because this is big. This is going to be bigger than you think. This is Sherman Ray. This is the TNC podcast. We'll be back. Just a second. All right, folks, we are back. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the TNC podcast, the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. I want to encourage you, if you've not gone to our website yet, go to thenevadaconservative.com, and you can check out all kinds of articles that we put on there. We're updating all the time. And I know a lot of you are worried about, they're saying, hey, get Sherman, you've not put any of your podcasts on the website. We will, folks. We are going to put those on. Got a lot of stuff we're working on, and so we will definitely do that. So we're talking about an autopsy on the California election, and where right now you've got Steve Hilton, who is the number one guy now. He's number one. He's up against Javier Becerra, and number three guy who is, what's the guy's name? Tom Steyer. The billionaire guy who spent $200 million of his own money. This guy spent a lot of money. He's got more. He should be doing something else. He really should. He's just a nut. And Javier Becerra, he's going to probably be indicted here pretty soon too. So for the governor's race, this is huge. Also the same thing for the mayor's race, where you've got another Republican, Spencer Pratt, and Spencer was just dynamic in some of the ads that he had out. I mean, he was just really good. Hey, he did a one Will Smith type thing, and because they were making fun of him. They were saying, hey, he's living in this the Airstream trailer, and so he made all kinds of videos. People were making videos for him, and it was just fantastic. I mean, it really was very fantastic. And he just ran a great campaign, and the guy doesn't even know what he's doing yet, right? But it was one of those stories where a guy gets upset and he goes, look, I am going to make a difference. And if you don't make a difference, I will make a difference for you. So this is big. So what does this mean? I mean, what does this tell us about California? Because this is really what it's all about. Okay, what does this tell you about? So what's really happening in the Golden State? Really, what is going on? What is this telling us about it? Okay, California boasts of the highest taxes in the nation. Okay, this is what's going on in California right now. They have the highest taxes, the highest gas prices, the highest gas taxes, the highest unemployment, the worst education system, record homelessness. As a matter of fact, about 15 years ago, they had about 25,000 homeless people. Now they're up to 43,000. And Karen Bass, I think she got 1,500 people off the streets in 4 years. Okay, that's not gonna cut it, Karen. It's just not gonna cut it. They have a shocking level of fraud, and right now we just don't know how deep it's gonna get. It's gonna get deeper though. It's gonna get really bad. It is the largest economy of any state outside of the federal government, and yet Californians are fleeing in droves. Not just a few folks, but in a lot. As a matter of fact, it got so bad that the people who U-Haul didn't have enough trailers because all the people were leaving California that quick. The exodus from California mirrors the one from New York. People are voting with their feet and their pocketbooks. Families who love this country, who cherish traditional values, who want safe streets, good schools, and the freedom to build a future for the children are saying no more to radical progressive experiments. Under Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, the promises of the left have delivered exactly the opposite. Suffering, decline, and despair. That's what they've gotten. But yesterday, the people of California showed they're willing to give Republicans a chance. Even a Fox News commentator, guys. Okay, Steve Hilton, guys. You know, that's how most people knew Steve Hilton was, because he was on Fox News all the time. Why would they turn to Steve Hilton? A guy who, I mean, Steve Hilton just became an American citizen, what, about a month ago? I'm being facetious, but it wasn't that long ago. And the people of California go, yeah, we'll pick the Brit. Why? It's because they're desperate. They're desperate for change. California people are sick and tired of it. And guess what, folks? In Nevada, we are the same way. And we're going to talk about the Nevada connection here in the next segment. But this is big, okay? The people in California are sick and tired of it. They're tired of naked junkie zombies, as Spencer Pratt, excuse me, not Spencer Pratt, Spencer Pratt so eloquently said. He said they're tired of needles all over the place. They're tired of homeless encampments all over the place. Skid Row, even Skid Row was cleaned up a couple of years ago. Now it's just disgusting. People are afraid to go to open up their businesses because they know some guy's going to probably go in and defecate in front of their door. People, they're spending more money on the homeless. They're spending more money on illegal aliens than they are on the citizens of California. And there's no end in sight. Karen Bass is just laughing about it. She's going, oh, you guys, they're not going to stop us. We're going to do just great. And that's the crazy thing about it, is that the people in California are going, yeah, or they're 36% or 34% who voted for her. They're going, yeah, Karen, we love it. This is the way it is. You know, you're always going to have these people there. But 64, is it 36? 66% of the people in California are saying no, because they are not going to vote for. They're not going to vote for Karen Bass. They're voting for somebody other than that. So what does this mean for Democrats, though? I mean, what does this whole thing mean for Democrats? We know what's going on in California. So what does this mean for Democrats? When they see that Karen Bass is in a runoff, when they see Javier Becerra is in a runoff against a Fox News commentator. This is a 5-alarm fire, guys. I mean, this is a 5-alarm fire for the Democrats. Steve Hilton or Spencer Pratt, if they actually win, guys, guess what? And begin turning the state around, if they begin cutting taxes, some of you are getting this already. If they begin cutting taxes, if they begin restoring law and order, rebuilding homes, protecting families, what's going to happen? What are these Democrats going to do? If Steve Hilton gets in and he starts going, guess what? I'm vetoing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this and we're going to start shutting down this and we're going to start making things, if we're trying to make California great again. Oh, I just coined a phrase, make California great again. The entire left-wing narrative collapses. That's why, and that's really one of the reasons why Democrats are opposed to Donald Trump, because if people start going, oh my gosh, my 401k is higher, I can walk around the street. People in D.C. are already seeing it because the president has cleaned up D.C. Okay, right now, and as a matter of fact, I can't wait to get some pictures up here pretty soon of what D.C. was before Donald Trump started the cleanup of D.C. and what it looks like now. The reflecting pool right now it's supposed to be beautiful. It really is. I saw a few other pictures that were that the president had. It was just amazing. Well, what happens in California if Steve Hilton starts doing the things that he says he's going to do? If he starts cracking down on the fraud and restoring law and order, guess what? The whole progressive thing, it is over. Don't be surprised, folks. Here's the thing about it. We're going to take a break here in a second. Don't be surprised if we see every dirty trick in the book being pulled out on both of these guys. You heard it here first, folks, okay? Lawfare, manufactured charges, bureaucratic stonewalling, media hit pieces designed to tie these leaders down so that they can't deliver a thing. Just like they did to Trump, okay? So once again, it wasn't as though they had anything on Trump. They just didn't. They wanted him so tied up that he couldn't do anything. And that's what they're going to do. I don't be surprised if that's what happens to Steve Hilton. They have 5 months right now to try to do everything they can to destroy this guy. And guess what? Because there's a chink in their armor. There's a big chink in their armor. Man, can you imagine that? If he starts rebuilding homes, okay? This whole thing, it just collapses, okay? If he starts protecting families, restoring law and order, the entire left-wing narrative collapses. Don't be surprised, folks. Democrats can't afford to lose their crown jewel. And that's exactly what California is, okay? California's electoral votes are simply too valuable to their permanent power ambitions. I think that's something that people are missing, this whole thing. They're saying, well, isn't that great that Steve Hilton's going to win California? Okay, that's wonderful, okay? But the bigger question is, what will happen if Steve Hilton wins? What's he going to do? And that's exactly what Democrats are probably talking about right now. They're saying if Steve Hilton wins, guys, we're screwed. We are simply screwed. I'll be back in just a second, folks, for our last segment. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, folks, we are back. And, we were talking about in the last segment, how beautiful California is, really. And I heard this on the news earlier today. I was watching a little bit of news. Oh, some of you guys are looking at my shirt. I love this shirt. It's a 250 anniversary shirt. I know some of you can't see it, but trust me on this. Okay, it's a 250th anniversary shirt. And my wife got this shirt for me. I love it. I'm going to wear it until it stinks. I'm going to wear it till July. There you go, July 4th. Okay. Um, so I heard this on the news earlier. I forgot my train of thought here. Is that a lot of people are just talking about California and how right now Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton are in they're gonna the likelihood of them winning or losing or whatever, that kind of stuff. And they're kind of focusing on this, but nobody's ever thinking about the fact that if they do win, guys, guess what? This whole progressive narrative, it's just done. I think California has, what, 45 electoral? Can you look that up? Sure. Let's go ahead and look that up. How many electoral college? Here, I'm going to look this up while we're doing it. I got just a minute. Okay. How many electoral, I've got to spell the word, college votes does California have? Okay, I think it figured out. 54. Wow, that's a lot. Oh my gosh. I thought it was 45. I think that's in New York. I think New York has 45. 54. Guys, guess what? And that's, I believe, some of the strategists, they won't say it out loud. They're definitely not, because they don't want to give anybody, Democrats are smart. They don't want to give anybody any kind of hint that, hey, something, there could be more to this than there is. Okay, they're in deep doo-doo here, guys. I mean, deep doo-doo. So they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that Steve Hilton doesn't win. They're going to probably bring up something. They'll bring up a love child or something. They'll bring up a love child against Spencer Pratt or something like that. No. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, you do know he's a villain, right? And the people in California, they don't care. So they're going to do whatever they can but they're going to do everything they can to destroy these two. Okay. But more importantly here, guys, now the Republicans, especially here in Nevada, what does this mean to us? Okay, what does this mean to the Republicans and especially us in Nevada? Okay, this is a tremendous opportunity, guys. I mean, this is a tremendous opportunity. California's majority is actually red. Okay, and put up that. Can you put up that that map? Yeah, put up that map. Okay, so California's majority. This is a map of California. This is what it looks like. The majority of California looks like outside of some of its, so all the red. Can you see all the red? Okay, all the red right there, that is Republican. And that's the majority of California. That's 90% of California, or I would say even more than that, probably 95% of California is red. It's just on the coasts and in the big cities where you've got all of the, Democrats, okay? And the same thing here is with Nevada. Let's take a look at, can you jump that picture of Nevada? And Nevada is the same way. Nevada, other than in Carson City, in Clark County, which is down near the bottom, okay, Clark County here is down at the bottom, and also up in the Carson City area, up top near Reno and stuff like that, okay, closer to California, those are the only Democrat strongholds, okay? But the vast majority of the 13 counties in Nevada are all Republican, except for Clark County, which is where the bulk of the people are at, is down here. Okay, if we organize effectively, and this is important, guys, if we organize effectively, support strong candidates, communicate our pro-America, pro-family, our message, we can start turning the tide. Nevada and other states, you need to wake up. Okay, when you start seeing chinks in the armor like this, guys, you can start saying to yourself, guys, guess what? We have an opportunity here. This is not a time to back up on supporting your candidate now, guys. Guess what? Now is the time to really start getting going and saying, guys, guess what? We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity here to start creating our own machine. Because what Democrats did and what they've done over the last, I don't know, 20 years, 50 years, is they've created a machine. And that machine now is in full swing. They've got organizations all over the country. They've infiltrated every organization there is on the planet. You can't go into academia, media, you can't go into the government. You can't go to a school without a Democrat coming up to you and saying, "Hey guys, guess what? We own this place." Republicans have an opportunity right now. Okay, this is kind of a, and we talk about this in church all the time too, guys. Guess what? If we can get Las Vegas or Caesar's Palace or one of these big casinos, that is the diamond in the devil's crown. California is the diamond. California is the crown of the Democrat Party. And they know California, if California falls, New York will fall. It's not very long. And right now, and once again, I'm speaking to the county officials in Nevada. I'm speaking to the state and county officials in California and in Nevada. Time to wake up, guys. It's time to start spending some cash. I mean, it's time to start starting organizations that can actually do something, okay? That can start organizing, that can start infiltrating, that can start opening up. So Nevada Conservative is a great organization. It really is, right? I mean, I think so, okay? But we need, but in the state of Nevada, there I think are 5 newspapers, and 4 of them are all Democrat, of the 5, okay? The Nevada Conservative is the only daily newspaper where you can go out and you can go online right now and you can read about conservative stock or right-leaning conservative stories. There needs to be a full court effort to build up organizations like Nevada Conservative, podcasts, any means of communications that can continue to build the foundation like Democrats have had. We've got a generational opportunity here, folks, and I hope that our party officials are listening to that, guys. Guess what? I really do. I'm open. My phone, it's right here, and you guys have my number. I know you do. Okay? Call me, and we'll talk. Okay? Because this is is this an opportunity? Okay? Anyways, we got to go, guys. We do. We've run over. Anyways, I encourage you, folks, speak to your county officials, okay? Your county officials, your state officials in the state of Nevada and in California, and start saying, "Hey guys, did you hear this guy in Nevada Conservative that maybe now is the time to start really doing all you can to try to affect change, because this is a once in a generation thing." Anyways, folks, this has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative. Thank you once again so much for being a part of the broadcast, folks. Check out the broadcast. Check out our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and don't forget, you can go to the Nevada Conservative at thenevadaconservative.com if you want to check out all of our cool stuff. Anyways, it's been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative. We'll talk to you later, folks. Be blessed.